like call hello.
Shem Yawashai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone of Ruel. Peace and blessings to the sincere brothers and sisters who do this wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. Alright, so here's an opinion piece here, and it's funny. Coming from America where, they are trying to rewrite the scriptures as well. Of course, this is Fox News, right wing, more conservative, of course. But I'm going to read this. We'll get a couple scriptures, and that'll be it, right? So, this is Gospel according to Chairman Xi Jinping. All right, has Yahushua turned killer instead of forgiving sin? And they're referring to John chapter 8. But let me read this. As a part of a push to synthesize religion, and so I went ahead and got that, actually. Synthesize is to make something more, I guess, Chinese, so that must have been a Western word created or something. I don't know. This is my first time hearing this, but I pulled it up. Make Chinese in character or form. Generation of Chinese children grew up reading the translations of Anderson's work, although he synthesized the story a little bit. I'm not sure if synthesize can go for any other country, but it's, I guess, specifically for Chinese. Okay. All right. So let's get back to the article. This won't be long at all. We'll see. I'll just say we'll see. All right. So the Communist Party has embarked on a 10-year project to rewrite the Bible and other religious texts. In the Gospel of John, Yahushua famously confronts the accusers of a woman caught committing adultery, saying, "Let the one among you who is guiltless be the first to throw the stone." The chastened accusers slink away, and Yahushua says to the woman, "Has no one condemned you?" "No." And she replies, "No one, sir." "Neither do I condemn you," said Yahushua. "Go away from this moment to sin no more." Now, there is a lot to unpack in John 8. Like, how were they... Because, according to adultery, if the woman doesn't cry... And adultery is a woman already married to a man being with another man. All right? Or if a man deals with a woman who has a husband, that is how the man commits adultery, not by dealing with a woman without a husband, even if he has a woman already. So that sin is punishable by death, all right? That would be stoned. Of course, it is in the law that you need 2 or 3 witnesses. So what are the odds? This is just something I speculate. What are the odds of the 2 witnesses just happen to catch the woman in the act? And we understand that this was the Pharisees' way of trying to catch Yahushua up. They wanted to have an occasion. They were trying to set up an occasion to, get him up out of there, but it wasn't his time. The Lord didn't say yes. The Lord didn't say, "Hey, it's your time," right? We have not, at this point in time, they had not approached the Garden of Gethsemane where Yahushua prayed and was saying, "Look, Lord, let this cup pass from me." We hadn't got there yet. All right, so let's see. Yahushua I'll start at the top. Yahushua went to the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he came again into the temple, and all the people came unto him, and he sat down and taught them. The scribes and the Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery, and when they had set her in the midst, they said unto him, "Master, this woman was taken in adultery in the very act." So 2 people just having to walk up on him and see it, so that's also something I find interesting. So this was all a malicious way. They did not care about exacting judgment according to the laws of Moses. What they cared about was trying to seek an occasion against Yahushua. Now the law, verse 5. Now Moses in the law commanded us that such should be stoned. But what sayest thou? Then they said, tempting him, that they might have to accuse him. But Yahushua stooped down with his finger, wrote on the ground as though he heard them not. So when they continued asking him, he lifted up himself and said unto them, "He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her." Right, so go ahead, begin the stoning. And again, he stooped down and wrote on the ground, and they heard, and they which heard it, being convicted by their own conscience, went out one by one, beginning at the eldest, even unto the last. And Yahushua was left alone, and the woman standing in the midst. All right, so there's the quote a little bit farther down, where verse 10, where it says, "Anybody accusing you? All right, where are thine accusers? Have no man condemned thee?" She said, "No man, Lord." And Yahushua said unto her, "Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more." So, damn, I lost my train of thought on there. Where was I going with that? Right, so all of this was just a plot to kind of catch Yahushua up. And also, if I'm not mistaken, you can do your own research on this, since we were a vassal state at that point in time unto the Romans, which, I mean, we are living, in Rome 2.0, and we are also under subjection again, that the capital punishment was taken. If I'm not mistaken, capital punishment was not allowed by us at that point in time under Roman rule. You had to check with you had to check in with whoever was over that province at that time, over the province of Judah. Okay, so let's continue reading. I'm going to get Psalms 50, right, because they're taking the covenant into thy mouth. We're going to get Deuteronomy 4. Of course, we're going to get Revelation 22, and then that will be it. But the enemy of your enemy is indeed not your friend. And, of course, Psalms 83 tells you, all right, all of the nations that are our enemies, and they have made a confederate. We'll get that. Let's read this, and we'll get that as well. Let's see. In the Gospel of John, Yahushua famously confronts the accusers of a woman caught committing adultery, saying, "Let the one among you who is guiltless." Okay. They slink away. Let's see. A beautiful story of forgiveness and mercy, which I'm assuming the writer of this is an Edomite and you know nothing of it. Unless you're a CCP official. Then it is a story of dissident challenging the authority of the state. A possible sneak preview of what the Bible with socialist characteristics might look like appeared in the Chinese University textbook in 2020. The rewritten Gospel of John excerpt ends not with mercy, but with Yahushua himself stoning an adulterous woman to death. Right, so completely missing the mark, not even understanding the nuances of what this story was all about. Okay. And again, I find it very hypocritical that this person, I don't even know who this is. Let's see, by Mike Gallagher of Fox News, which is funny because here in America they're doing an AI rewrite of the Bible. So, without further ado, Deuteronomy. First, we'll get Deuteronomy 4 and 2. Because the Lord is going to make sure, all right, and man, the Lord is a master chess player, because he's going to have these other nations take down Babylon, and and then he going to come and clean house. That's why in 2nd Ezra 13 and 8, it says the nations would, we don't get that. That's all right. Now I got to slow it down because it's coming to me. So let's get Deuteronomy 4, and we'll start it at the top. Now this is the Lord talking to his people. This has nothing to do with the heathen. It has nothing to do with you, Moab. It has nothing to do with you, Edom. Now therefore hearken, O Israel, unto the statutes and unto the judgments which I teach you, for to do them, that ye may live and go in and possess the land. You see, because if you go into Exodus 24, maybe around the 12th verse, Moses facilitated the covenant between us and the Lord, sprinkled the blood, right? And he said, here's what you are going to do, and I will give you the land. Be obedient, you will get the land. Let me see. And I'll drive out the enemies from among you. Okay? And then we'll go to verse 2. Ye shall not add unto the word which I command you, neither shall ye diminish aught from it, that ye may keep the commandments of the Lord your God, which I command you. So this thing has nothing to do with you. All right, Psalms 50 and 20. I'm sorry, 50 and 16. We're going to go to that real quick. And this just further solidifies why these nations are going to be judged. Not that there hasn't already been enough done, but the nice little icing on the cake, that cup that's got to spill it over. Psalms 50. (16, 15). Let me see. Offer unto you thanksgiving and pay thy vows unto the Most High. I'm starting at 14. And call upon me in the day of trouble. I will deliver thee, and thou shalt glorify me. But, verse 16, unto the wicked, God saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest taken my covenant in thy mouth? And at this place in its inception was a quote unquote Christian nation, and they swear in on the Bible with every inauguration of every installation of a puppet leader, and then they go around, as soon as it's done, they go and they write wickedness into law. And now you got Moabites, which these other countries, I'm probably sure they have tried to rewrite something, but China being the quote unquote next emerging power, putting their hands on the scriptures that have nothing to do with them, right? Making changes, and touching things that don't belong to you. Just know you already getting your issue, but the Lord is setting it up to a way to where you are going to feel full wrath. And I, for one, can't wait. We'll go to Revelation, move on to Revelation 22 and 18. And straight to the point. Let him register. 18. For I testify unto every man that heareth the words of the prophecy of this book, if any man shall add unto these things, God shall add unto him the plagues that are written in this book. And if any man shall take away from the words of the book of this prophecy, God shall take away his part out of the book of life and out of the holy city, and from the things which are written in this book. Now, of course, if you are a Moabite by blood, this has nothing to do with you. But adding unto these scriptures, you're going to get these plagues. You are going to feel these plagues. And at the end of the day, they are also, the Moabites are also looking at ways to have some artificial sunlight. Everything is about destruction. They are following in the footsteps of this Edomite devil. And we all know his end. So it goes without saying your end as well, Moab. With the exception of you, at the end of all of this, you'll be able to return to your land and get smacked up when you go off. But as for this Edomite, they have no resurrection of life. They're done. To be wiped off completely, or wiped out completely. Finishing the job that Saul didn't do. We'll say that. Where are we going? In the spirit of annihilation and subjugation, let's go to Amos 9. And again, we're getting straight to the point. Amos 9 and 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof. Okay, that is, because Israel and Judah are oppressed together, and they're here, right here, in Babylon the Great. And that is the closing of the breaches. Okay, and that tabernacle of David, you can read through 2 Samuel. I believe 1 Samuel just kind of talks about how Saul loses the kingdom and David gains it. So you will need to go into 2 Samuel and 1 and 2 Kings, I believe, to get the rundown, to get the full scope of David's tabernacle. And then he gave it to his son Solomon, right, setting up that 40 years of peace, having every nation in subjection. So he might not have got it right as Solomon, but he got it right as Yahushua, and he gonna come back with a vengeance. All right. So let's go to Psalms. All right, the tabernacle of day. So you can read how it was in the days of old, right? And we'll get something real quick in the book of Psalms. Very fitting. It's Psalm 60. 108 says the same thing. So we'll just go to 60. Starting at 8. Moab is my washpot. Over Edom will I cast out my shoe. Philistia by an irony? Irony triumph thou because of me. Who will bring me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? Wilt thou not, O Lord, O Most High, which hast cast us off, and thou, O Power, which didst not go out with our enemies? Give us help from trouble, for vain is the help of man. Through God we shall do valiantly, for he is it that shall tread down our enemies. Right. So for those of us with the true understanding, so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, or if you may look like the other nations and these scriptures resonate with you, then I'm talking to you. That is where our power lies. But these heathen, they are vain. They have no understanding, and they are going to receive quite the judgment for touching things that don't belong to them, book and people. So what else did I miss? And I find it funny that in the same spirit, right, we can go to Obadiah, or we can go to Isaiah 63 and 1. Who is this that coming from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? Okay, and the same thing, that same spirit, who is going to lead me into the strong city? Who will lead me into Edom? Because your ass is getting hemmed up, and anybody else can get it too, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. The same spirit, on the same accord. And it talks about how Yahushua is the root and the offspring of David. Nothing has changed. And these people want to pick up the Bible and read in the book of Matthew and think that you just have the understanding and you understand and you know what these scriptures are about. You have no idea. And then to add unto the word, or to add your, and now I'm taking it more to a microcosmic as far as a macrocosmic. So like here, these Christians have no understanding, but they want to put their feelings in place of what the word says. You got what's coming. You gon' get what's coming to you. Alright, so you can read through Obadiah. You understand the judgment of Edom. And I think that it's a beautiful thing to see that this book unfolds on itself, and it is all within the same spirit. There's a physical manifestation of something, and then you can catch the spiritual side. Very beautiful for those who were blessed enough to get the understanding. Let's see what else we can squeeze out of here. Alright, across the Henan province, local CCP official forced Protestant churches to replace 10 Commandments with Xi Jinping quotes. So thou shalt have no other gods before me became dictats like resolutely guard against the infiltration of Western ideology. And hey, you know, I can't blame somebody for wanting to do away with the West. I get it, but they've gone to an extreme by going and taking the scriptures, and hey, who knows? Maybe this is a way to you know, extract the elect out of the land of Moab. All we know is that the Lord is the master chess player, and everything that He does, the ending of the story is going to be beautiful. It is packed with drama. It is packed with suspense, and the ending is going to be beautiful. So, however the Lord is going to do it, hey, it is His prerogative. It is His show. The omnipotent power from whom we derive our strength from, at the end of the day, is author of all. And He sent His Son, and Yahushua is the author and the finisher of our faith. So, no matter what these devils try to do, no matter what these heathen try to change, they can't affect the spirit. They can deal with the physical all day, but they can do nothing with the spirit. So with that being said, you know, I think we've got the gist of what this article has to say. And I think I've covered everything that needed to be covered. I pray that you were edified. With that being said, Shalom.